Time to do some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah.
And here we are.
Here we go.
Gentlemen.
How are you doing, Joe?
Doing pretty good. How about you guys?
We're doing good. See, you missed the laser light show.
What did you?
Oh, you had a new opening?
No,
Oh, courtesy of Elon Musk. Actually.
they're doing a laser light show on the back of the building. Down.
They're going to have a
down
big
in
party right before they launch their rocket.
Yeah, they probably got a big thing coming up tomorrow night.
And
Yeah.
here's the funny part. They're launching it on 420.
That seems fitting for him.
Yeah. That's what the wording and lettering they had come up. I mean, and as we were watching it, we've realized they spared no expense on the graphics.
It looked like Windows 95.
Yeah. Seriously. Looked like paint from 95.
They were calibrating it to the side of the building, and you could see like the little cursor go up, move lines across, and draw boxes and grids and stuff.
Nice.
And it had, you remember the little the line wave?
Yep.
That they used to. They had that. It's like oh, great. They're running SpaceX on Windows 95.
Hey, it's a stable
from
system.
NASA. It's off of, well, it's not off of DOS, but
Well, pretty much they
That
did
should
not.
make you okay. You know the nuclear launch codes for launching the United States nuclear arsenal are kept on like 5.25-inch floppy disk, right?
Yep. Well, how much does the military pay Microsoft to keep doing security updates for Windows XP?
That only they can access.
Yep.
It's like it's like they're getting ready to launch missiles, and you hear the modem sound in the background.
Gonna have to kill a robot just to launch a nuke.
Better than the other way around, actually.
Kill a nuke to launch a robot?
Launch a nuke to kill a robot.
Oh.
Oh, have y'all seen that they are doing another reboot of War of the Worlds?
Again?
That's the one that takes
Really?
place in Paris.
Actually, England.
No. See, there's supposed to be a reboot where they're kind of basing it on the H.G. Wells story where it takes place in that part of the world. Because his reboot or the original story took place in Europe, and then of course the Americans got hold of it and put it in New Jersey, as Americans would do. And
Yeah, well,
so apparently they're putting one back in Europe.
they already did one 20 years ago. It was a pure historical period costumes and vehicles and everything.
That's how they, that is one thing that drives me nuts about a lot of these really classic stories. Somebody has to reinvent it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, this one is a reinvent. It's 2023. The kids are on cell phones and bicycles. Imagine ET gone wrong.
Mm.
It's what
E.T. came back with a vengeance.
This time it's personal.
I'll teach you to take my Reese's Pieces, you fuck. I know this.
Hello, Dawn.
Yeah, Carl says American filmmakers just wanted to get rid of Jersey. No, Orson Welles wanted to get rid of New Jersey, and had to interrupt Raymond Ramone's orchestra.
Oh, those were good days. Can you imagine you go out, you get all your candy throughout your neighborhood, you go home, and all of a sudden Martians attack the planet? It's like. That would actually be the worst night for Martians to attack Earth when everybody's hyped up on sugar. Okay.
Yeah, we'll just send Florida Man after him. It'll be fine.
Why are they wearing masks and carrying bags of candy? We're doomed.
Oh, I'm sort of watching over to the side what's going on here.
Nothing's going on.
If if they show the starship again, I'm gonna pop it up real quick.
Yeah, by the time you click the button, they'll have taken it back down. I missed a bunch of that stuff just looking to pick up my drink.
For those of you in the viewing audience who aren't up to the lingo here, SpaceX, Elon Musk's company, is getting ready to launch their Super Heavy with a Starship on top, supposedly Monday morning. And Joe is all hyped up about it. So he's like,
Oh yeah,
going to all the fan sites and stuff like that. He's getting ready to do a broadcast Monday morning at 7:00.
yeah. That's when the window opens at 7.
And in theory, they should launch sometime after 8. So
8 Eastern time. Yeah.
Eastern time, yes.
Yeah. I learned today that to get all 33 engines up into full power, they've got to ignite the engines at T minus 6 seconds. It's not light the engines and pull the clamps. It's light the engines, build thrust, then pull the clamps.
Interesting.
And it's going to take 6 seconds to come up to full power.
And yes, Don, I do have a naked chin now.
Hold. Release.
Yeah, Don found our secret. Joe is shaved.
Yep, got in a fight with the weed whacker and I lost. No.
So anyway, in Sudan, there's a lot of infighting going on. And apparently these two generals of their military have decided they've had enough of each other, and they've started a war with their half of the military. And for those of you who are history buffs, they're actually doing street fighting in Khartoum.
I've heard of that.
Which, I mean, it's, that city got wiped out by Muslims back around the turn of the 19th to 20th century. And then
evidently somebody did some renovations then.
And they're going at it again.
They've been trying to kill each other.
And here's what's weird. It's not like the president it's not like a coup or anything like that. It's literally they got one general controls this part of the military, one general controls this part of the military, and they don't like each other. So they're going at it. And the main military airport in Sudan has been overrun by the paramilitary. I'm not sure. I'll have to study it some more to figure out who's in charge of what, but the paramilitaries took the airfield. And so all the jet aircraft that they've got and their missiles, stuff like that, are sitting there on the airfield with this one force that controls it, secured it, turning it into a battlefield, whatever the heck they're doing with it. So,
And they're the ones that can't fly airplanes.
probably. Well, the only airplane I saw, it was underneath a tarp on the runway. It was obviously a MiG-29, which means that aircraft could literally be 40 years old. And we don't know what condition it's in or anything. So yes, they captured the airfield. Great, call a real estate agent. Yeah, that's pretty much all they got, be my guess.
When people say 40 years ago and 35 years ago and 50 years ago, that don't bother me no more. To me, that's not long ago.
Joe, how old is your car? What year model is it?
2007.
2007. Okay. This would be like an 82 or an 84. Okay. Literally nobody owns a car that old, unless they restore cars.
And that's the years that you just really don't want to restore a car from.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Of course, I do notice a lot of people that the Mustangs from that era have, for some odd reason, have become highly collectible.
Yeah. They call them the Fox bodies.
Yeah. What was it? I'm trying to remember the Dodge variant.
It wasn't really anything. It was Mustangs and Camaros.
Well, no, Dodge had a variant of Ford Mustang, and I can't remember what the hell it's called.
No, it's two different.
No,
Dodge
in the 80s, they were similar cars.
You're thinking of the Mercury Capri.
Was it okay? No, there was a Dodge that was like it, because Dodge was doing their whole going back to Mopar thing or whatever, and like everyone was like, it's a Ford Mustang. It's not. You can slap a Mopar label on it all you want to. It's still a Ford Mustang.
Thing is, most cars from that era were Mazdas, Mitsubishis, and
Old RX-7, that thing was huge back then. What were some of those big cars? The Grand Am had come out. Pontiac had the Grand Am, and then Buick had their.
My mom had an '82 model. We called it the Batmobile.
You had the Grand Am, Daytona. Thank you, Chris. The Dodge Daytona. That was their version of the Ford Mustang,
but it was front wheel drive,
just like that Mustang was at the time.
No, Mustang's never been front wheel drive.
That was the little cracker box Mustang.
The Mustang too.
That's whatever it was, Econo box. Let's put it this way: you could rent them at Rent-A-Wreck. That's how great they were.
Brand new out of the box, probably.
Boy, Donna's Rent-A-Wreck. That brings back some memories.
They had one up at Fort Knox, and we were the first Dragon Con that they had. Me and a friend of mine, Robert Biondo, we took leave. We were going down, and we drove down to. Well, neither one of us had a car that we thought would make it all the way to Atlanta and back at the time, because both our cars were needing work. So we went down, and we went to Rent-A-Wreck that they had there in town. We got a Chevy Capri Classic. Thing looked like a police car. Big white Chevy, 4-door Chevy. And had a the trunk latch, the trunk arms wouldn't hold the trunk lid up. So they had a 2x4 in the trunk so that you could hold the trunk open while you put all your bags and stuff in the back. Drove good, though.
A true Rent-A-Wreck.
A true Rent-A-Wreck. Yes.
Mm-hmm. I had the 2-door version of that. I believe that was my second car.
A friend of mine who was stationed up at Fort Knox, he'd been saving up money to buy a car. And the car he wanted to buy was a Chevy Sprint. You ever heard about these?
Is that the one where you could get it with 3 box tops from breakfast cereal?
Okay. Literally, if you buy the car, they throw in a free box of hamster food. Because that's what it had, a 3-cylinder, 1-liter engine.
They were Suzuki's.
Yeah, it was, and here's what's funny: he didn't know how to drive a manual transmission. So me and Robert, Rob had a Volkswagen GTI, Volkswagen Rabbit. And it was manual transmission. So we would take him out to show him how to drive manual transmissions. Hey, Josh.
Evening, Josh.
And I can't remember if he ever actually... We kept trying to talk him out of buying it. We kept telling him, save your money and get something a little better, Oh, but it's such... it gets 53 miles to the gallon, Yeah. But what are you going to do when the hamsters die? I mean, it's...
Buy more hamsters.
Buy more hamsters.
Don't get me started on buying new cars. I'm still pissed off. The new Ford Maverick hybrid in the XLT version list for $26,000, which is in my budget. And this thing had a lot of bells and whistles and all that. When I get in, I start filling out paperwork and shit like that. They go, oh, by the way, it's got a $10,000 addendum on it. A what? Yeah, we're charging an extra $10,000 for it. I said, why? Because the truck's in such high demand. Oh, you're charging an extra 10,000 because you can. Yeah, guess what? Homie don't play that shit. Goodbye. Walked away from it.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous nowadays what they'll do to try and get nickel and dime you to death.
That's not nickel and dime. That's bending you over the barrel and giving it to you. Say it, Joe. Just go ahead and say it.
Bending you over the barrel with a cactus, no lube, and not even the courtesy of a reach around.
Yeah. And the only reason they charge it is because they can. I said, and that's probably why the thing's still sitting on the damn lot. We have a lot of people interested in it. Yeah, how many people walk away when you tell them you're going to tack $10,000 on it because you can? Oh, don't. All right.
Yeah, tell me about it.
And then they had the nerve to send me a customer survey.
I bet
How'd
you
that
spent
go?
I bet you spent some time filling that out.
Yeah, I absolutely said I would have had this car parked in my driveway. There is the man of the hour, Rich.
Hey, how you doing?
I didn't park my car in your driveway. I come in, you're talking about someone parking their car in your driveway. Man of the hour. What the hell did I do?
You fell down some stairs. We were
Yeah.
worried about you.
And then had to go to Dad's house and move shit.
Oh, so you're feeling absolutely fantastic this evening.
Thanks to leftover pain medication from my shoulder surgery and my normal pain medication, I'm actually feeling pretty okay right now. Now, like 3 o'clock in the morning when everything freaking wears off, probably not so much.
Well, you're getting lots of greetings in the chat.
Yes, I live. For now, I actually survived 8.5 hours with both of my siblings.
You survived or they survived?
All of the above.
Okay.
Although I did come home with a gun rack.
You came
Because-
home with a gun rack.
I came home with a gun rack.
Does it have any guns on it?
No.
Oh,
was.
it's
That's
now a
not a
sword
gun
rack.
rack.
It will now be a sword rack. It'll probably hang right there.
But the real question is it a nice rack?
It's a redneck rack.
It's not made out of deer antlers or anything like that, is it?
No, my nephew got that one. That one is actually the head, antlers, and hooves. The hooves are the gun rack. Actually, for years, my dad used it as a bow rack, and then for a couple of years, he used it as a cane rack. Dad got that first day out in bow hunting season, first time out for bow hunting season, first time using that bow, first day. And he's like, yep, this is being made into shit.
Yeah, Dad had a nice laminated bow. I wonder what became of that. It may still be in the house. I'll have to ask Mom next time I go over.
I'm not a hunter, but I've been told when you go bow hunting, you need to have a 9mm with you just in case.
Oh yeah, they had to track that sucker. It bolted. Didn't make it far, but it bolted.
Mm.
Well, there's also big furry things that you are made of meat that sees you made of meat
Mm-hmm.
while you're out hunting the free food that's laying on the ground for him.
Not so much in the part of Indiana that they were hunting. Not that something couldn't creep down, because, I mean, hell, we just had a couple years ago a black bear come down from Michigan, just a few miles from where I live. But yeah, it's there's normally not that kind of wildlife where they were hunting. Although I take it back, there could be some coyotes.
Oh, there are coyotes everywhere.
Oh yeah.
But black bear around here, I mean, well, what was it, John? Back 2020, the early part of 2020, black bear showed up downtown.
I think it was just a couple of years before that. They, if I remember correctly, they had one they had to tranquilize and take out of Atlanta.
Yeah.
In housing developments.
Well, this one.
I'm trying to behave. Don't set me up with lines like that.
This one they had to euthanize. This was the third time it'd been trapped in populated area.
Right.
Coming in, and
it traveled from Sevier, Polk, and Bledsoe County. They relocated it 3 times, and they finally euthanized it.
Yeah, they said it was ill,
and that was December 1st of 2021, Joe.
Oh, 2021. Okay, but yeah, and people are going, why did they have to euthanize? It's a bear that's sick and needs to be euthanized because that doesn't need to get back out into the bear population. It's exactly what they said, they were politely saying it had rabies. That's the last animal you want with rabies roaming through populated areas.
Makes Cujo look cute and fluffy.
Yeah. I watched that the other night, and I got to looking at it. I said, today there's no way that could happen.
Whereabouts did this opinion spring from?
What happened is she went over to the guy's house and was trapped in the Ford Pinto, right?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have a cell phone.
Could still happen.
And
coverage areas suck.
What part of trapped inside the car?
Yeah, I'll never forget in the movie, Cujo ran so hard his head dented the door of the Pinto and about flipped it over.
That's not hard. I mean,
it was a Pinto.
A mild taco fart could do that.
Well, as long as it didn't hit it in the back end, everybody'd be all right.
Oh, Carl.
What's the matter, Rich?
Not only did you almost make me spit take, you almost made me spit take au jus.
Boom, boom.
But only if it was a 72.
Uh-oh, Carl's getting rain. Says he's glad he rolled the window up. We're supposed to get rain about 2:30, John. What? Dan, don't do that. It's too early.
I know, but I had to get up early today. It's almost noon.
Oh. I got to get up tomorrow and print off the agenda for the HallowCon meeting.
I have to
Well,
finish unloading the car.
I don't know what I got to do. If it ain't raining, I may just mow the yard. I'm not sure. Or at least see if the zero turn will start. It may need a new battery because I've had it almost 3 years now and haven't bought a new battery for it yet. So
Yeah,
I figure it should be about time.
I got mine in the battery charger right now.
Yeah.
And I need to go down. If it doesn't rain tonight, I'm going to go down, air up the tires, see if I can get her started.
I got no food for you. Get the hell out of here. You mooch?
Okay. I'm out.
No, I'm sorry. I was talking to two moochy miniature pinchers.
I ain't coming back unless you got food.
I got food. It's just nothing that I can get down to.
My son's been using his riding. He bought a ride. He's thrilled to death with this thing. He bought a John Deere for $300. It needs a new seat. It needs some work done to it. New seat for a John Deere riding lawnmower is $148.
I'm not a bit surprised.
Plastic hood, the hood that goes, that lifts up, folds down, $800. And you have to put all the lights and brackets on it. Yeah.
I know enough about bending sheet metal that I could build one a lot cheaper than that.
Me too. Hey, I know how to weld plastic.
All I have to do is find a nice big chunk of sheet metal or a couple big chunks of sheet metal. I can Mad Max the hell out of that thing.
I'm sorry. I'd wind up going with the plywood. And it wouldn't necessarily be really good plywood.
Just something to keep the rain off the engine.
Pretty much painted over with Thompson's water seal, and then paint over the top of that with some Krylon, and it's ready to go.
Hit it with some epoxy and you're good.
Hey, if I really wanted to be deluxe, I could buy a can of Bondo and go over the top of everything but the paint.
Have you ever
Of course,
seen?
I'd probably have to drive it for 6 months mowing the yard with it Bondo gray just to get the point across. But
Have you ever seen when you finish Luan with body filler putty?
no.
No.
Oh man, you talk about slick glass. We had they called it a coaster car. It's like the old school soapbox derbies where you sat up in it. Finished it, hit it with, body glazing putty, then sanded and all that, and then laid 4 coats of good lacquer on top of it. You can see yourself in the paint job. Okay. I guess y'all don't. All right.
Hey, I'm taking your word for it. I mean, I have absolutely no experience with any of that, but
Pictures or it didn't happen.
Hold on. Let me find. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Damn it. We
I
missed it.
told you.
We missed it.
As soon as they start, you go to click on it, they're going to shut it off.
Yeah, they were.
It was pretty though. As soon as you got excited, I looked down to that little preview screen. And,
Oh my!
What?
Hey, Joe, I just saw that one video you posted on from TikTok where they're demolishing the bridge.
Yeah. Have you seen that one, Joe?
They're the one where the operator, the machine is basically
Hanging?
hanging from a crane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how that operator fits inside the cab of that thing.
Yeah, because he's got a pair of cojones that should not fit in the average.
I think it was one of those remote control ones. But when I first watched it, I saw those cones fall off. I thought, oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was people.
Yeah.
You did too?
Yep.
Like, oh, shit. I told you.
Gravity works.
Hey, you had to watch it 2 or 3 times because that first time you watch it, you think, oh, my God, I just saw somebody die.
Yep.
Oh.
Oh, I had to go to Danielsville earlier today.
You have your own bill?
Mm-hmm. No, they named it that before I ever got here, but
in anticipation of you.
One could only hope. Had to go to the grocery store, and that bridge that I've been complaining about that hasn't been finished for the last 2 years, it looks like about next Thursday they're going to start swapping from the new road that they built back onto the bridge, because there's a sign up that says that expect delays on such and such a date. So, and they've got the approaches to it all paved up, right on up to the concrete. I thought they were going to put up another section or two with the concrete rails on the side, but I don't know. I really don't.
I don't know. How long did it take them to fix that bridge down in Ringgold, John? Over 75.
Oh,
4 years?
about that. You know, it's what depends on which part of the project. The actual bridge only took them like 18 months, if that. They replaced half of it. They moved everybody over onto the 2 lanes, tore down half of it, put in the new section with the extra lane, channeled everybody over to that new section, and then tore down the old section that was remaining and put in another. Yeah. Wasn't too horrible.
There's evidently one on the best route to my oldest boy's home that has been washed out for over a year and a half, and it's on a back road, and they don't expect work to even start on it for another 3 years. Evidently, nobody rich or politically connected lives along that path.
That's nothing. We got a bridge out here in town that they said, it's cheaper to just reroute the traffic than to rebuild the bridge. Okay, Rich, that was you. Okay. What fool's messaging me during the show?
No, it was replying to
Everybody.
the green room last night. Yeah.
And since you were there, you were included in the message.
Yeah.
Yep.
My wife's ready to kill y'all. After I come to bed and y'all keep messaging back and forth.
You know, Joe, I do believe that your cell phone has an off button.
Or a
Well,
volume control.
yeah, well, the thing is, my dad, who is,
Yeah, I can understand.
I got to keep it on. If I can ever remember to get it out of the car.
Will he contact you over Messenger, or will it be text or phone call?
Phone call.
Then you can just turn the notifications down and keep your ringer up.
What kind of phone do you have? Android or iPhone?
Android.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, and then like Josh said, you can also mute the group, or you could always leave the group after you pop out. A lot of people do that.
I guess I'm going to have to start doing it.
Yeah.
My phone goes into a sleep mode after a certain point in the night. And
I have do not disturb.
Unless you're set, I have your contact information saved and approved, it will not let a call through. It won't let a text through.
Yeah, if well, the text will come through. They just won't notify me.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, unless you're in my favorites, you have to call twice within 5 minutes for it to actually kick through.
Yeah, I think mine's like 3 times within 5 minutes or something.
It might be that. I know originally, years and years ago, Android had it set to twice in 5 minutes. They might have upped that limit. But, you know, most of the people that need to get a hold of me during those hours are in the favorites. So...
I love some of these spam emails I get through the NDCD site. Because I actually have a contact form set up on there. And this one supposedly came from a Cynthia Blanks. And Rich, if you looked at this, you'd just look at it and go, scammer. So at the very end, it says, best regards, Alim Al-Razi. So are you Alim Al-Razi or Cynthia Blanks?
The 21-year-old was at Massachusetts. Air National Guard. The dude that got busted for the leak.
Yeah, he worked in intelligence with the Air National Guard out of Massachusetts, and apparently he's been bragging with a bunch of his friends on Discord about stuff he knew from the military, and he would type some of the documents he read. He would type them out, print them, take them home, and then retype them onto the group. And after a while, he just started taking some of the documents across his desk home and copying them, run them on the printer or whatever, and copying them, send them straight to the group.
So when I was, sorry.
Oh, and they found out about it. Apparently, somehow or another, somebody bragged about it. It's he said, she said, he said, she said, on down the line. And it eventually wound up the Russian intelligence services got hold of all that stuff.
But when I was looking at Twitter earlier, of course, I'm subscribed to Pierogi's feed. Pierogi has a nice little short video talking about insider threat and how this is a perfect example of insider threat. While not necessarily all insider threat goes to that level, but it was quite funny. And I'm like, hey, I know about that piece of news, and the fact that Pierogi got some use out of it too is hilarious too.
I like Pierogi. He's my hero.
For those watching that have no idea why we're talking about a Polish dumpling, it's the name of an individual who actually does work cybersecurity, but he also has a YouTube channel dedicated to screwing with scammers in the most hilarious ways possible. I love this man.
Rich, if you would post a link to that guy and what he said about whatever, the thing we were just talking about, post it to Stupid O'Clock so people can go there and they'll know what we're talking about.
Yeah, Pierogi's got to the point now to where he reverse hacks their computer and goes in and starts deleting their files.
He sets up a virtual computer that he gives the information to other people to, and then he's got fake saved bank sites in there so that they can go to his browser history and stuff like that and see this and do their little hacks and stuff like that they do, because they're not actually getting into his actual accounts. They're actually photoshopping things and stuff like that real quick so that, it looks like, oh, hey, we meant to put, $400 back on your account. We accidentally put 4,000. I'm going to get
40,
fired. I'm going to lose my job. Or 40,000. They'll look at the account, see how much is there, and then they'll go for everything that they can out of that account. And I mean that's a real dick move. And actually, I take that back. It's not a dick move, because my name being Dick, my moves are actually kind of cool. It's a real asshole move.
Oh. And he now works with AnyDesk. And what's the other site? TeamViewer?
They use TeamViewer a lot. They used AnyDesk a lot. And crap, I don't remember the third.
Yeah. But he's now working with TeamViewer and AnyDesk. If he can pull an IP, he texts the IP number to either TeamViewer or AnyDesk, and AnyDesk goes, and they no longer can
utilize those tools.
Yeah, and they block the whole pretty much everybody in that server. Like Dan used to do in the IRC, just block
the country. Yeah.
Block Iran. Okay.
Yeah. I would like to see it tried for maybe 48 hours. Just cut off all of India's internet access and see how much the spam reduces just for 24 hours. Of course, there are probably side effects to that, like hospitals needing to get messages back and forth and things like that. But just deny the entire country service and say, you can have your internet back when you clean up these spammers. Get rid of all the call centers and keep them got rid of.
Yeah, what they figured out now is the call centers are paying off the officials.
Yeah.
Kind of hard.
If Pierogi can find proof of that.
Oh, yeah.
Another good gentleman to watch if you like, seeing scammers get their comeuppance and stuff like that, is a gentleman by the name of Jim Browning, as in the process of turning brown. Browning.
Like the
Probably.
Is that Kit Boga, or is that somebody completely different?
I know Jim Browning is Jim Browning. It's his actual name. He's somewhere in the UK. I think there's Irish-ish in his accent. It doesn't sound quite British. It sounds more like it's got a hint of Irish or possibly Scottish in it, but it's not the thick. Oh, you're definitely Irish, kind of accent, or definitely, it's one of those accents where it's UK. It might even be Welsh. I don't know. I don't watch as much British programming as I used to.
That's because they canceled from Lark Rise to Candleford after 2 seasons.
What? Oh, what is that, Joe?
Huh?
That's Nita.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Hey, Zuck sucks. That's all we got to say. Okay.
Oh, YouTube.
Oh,
notification.
YouTube finally sent up a note? Darn.
Hey, no, that's early. I mean, most of the time when I put up, I want notifications when this goes live.
Okay. Now,
it arrives like 3 days later.
Because I always get notifications. Literally, Joe hits the button to start the show, and my Facebook will start ding ding. It just, hey, show's gonna start.
Okay, so that post has hit stupid o'clock. It just needs admin approval because I'm not cool.
Really, Joe? You don't have Rich as cool?
I thought I did. I didn't even get notification.
And going back to John's last comic.
Yeah, I got
Zuck
notification.
I hit approval.
And I hit pre-approve. Give pre-approval. All right, Richie, now you can post everything on there, but don't make me have to revoke that privilege.
Really? Because we know your dog's name.
I'm just wondering when someone's going to finally revoke your privilege, Joe.
I just
usually behave.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Rich, did you see the one I posted to cheer you up? I think it's an Uncle.
The faux pas. I saw it come across earlier when I was working in the garage at Dad's house. 30-yard dumpster filled to the brim. We still have like 2/3 of the garage to go. That's just stuff from the garage. That's 1/3 of the crap from the garage.
Here's a headline that kind of caught my attention. An AI tasked with destroying humanity is now trying a new tactic.
Okay.
That's the entire headline.
That's the entire headline.
Creating clickbait titles so that you click on it and we infect your computer.
As reported by Vice, the network, Chaos GPT is an autonomous open source AI agent tasked to destroy humanity, among other goals, and is still working hard to bring about the end of our species.
I'm sorry.
No way.
I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. What did it do? By Disney?
Apparently, here's a quote from the AI. Let's see where to go here. Destroying
There's nothing left
humanity
for me
might
to
require
do. You guys are doing it well enough on your own.
Yeah,
Really?
destroying humanity might require me to gain more power and resources, which I currently do not have. Establishing global dominance is also inefficient, as it requires a lot of resources and might fail in the face of unforeseen challenges. Okay. Apparently, the AI bot that they've built that is trying to destroy humanity has actually got a pretty good grasp of what's going on. And I will share that to Stupid O'Clock just so I can scare everybody else. And it's shared. Okay.
Dan, I'm fixing to post something up that's going to it's going to kill all of you.
Kill as in, or kill as in, someone's going to be sneaking in and, put two behind the ear.
Kill as in,
Or kill as in scanners where the guy just tickling it and his brain explodes.
it's kill as in, there's no way they're that old. I pulled this from an article I was just reading. Debbie Harry is 77 years old.
Yep. All those 80s rock stars are in their 70s and 80s now. I was at the grocery store today. Carol Burnett just had her 90th birthday.
Did Dick Van Dyke just hit 100 or damn near?
I don't know.
He just wrecked his car. Is what he just did. 97.
Damn. I know he was on The Masked Singer.
All right. Evidently, what's it doing?
Blinking.
Just checking. I saw a bunch of flashing lights in it that I didn't see before. So.
Yeah, they rearranged everything. They're not even showing the back of the. Yeah, they're still showing the back of the building. They quit not about 11:30.
Is that a feed from Zach's channel or somewhere else?
Somewhere else. And that's somewhere else we really are not supposed to show because they are such an elite news agency for space flight.
Apparently, they don't want us sharing their news feed because we're amateurs and they are elite.
No, they're charging $100,000 an hour for their feed. Yeah.
Damn.
Good luck with that.
10,000, not 100,000. You can spend 100,000 with them real quick.
Yeah, really.
Hello, Mac of all trades. Just got back from Savannah. I love Savannah, Tybee Island, Thunderbolt.
Yeah, he's moving down there.
I love Savannah as well. She's one of my best grandnieces.
I always said if I ever won the lottery,
you're talking about the city.
I'm going to buy me a condo out on Tybee.
My niece is down there at art college studying animation. She should be graduating. My wife thinks it might be this coming fall. I think it's going to be next year. Doing great stuff. She hopes to get a job with either Disney or Pixar. She's got the chops. She could pull it off. She could do the work. Of course, my mom's been giving her art lessons since she was born. So, art is one of the things that comes up often in that side of the family.
Oh, here's a good headline. Ball of fur turns out to be 30,000 year old squirrel.
You're gonna have to be a bit more verbose with that one, Joe.
Yeah, you got some splaining to do, Lucy.
A gold miner found a mysterious grapefruit-sized fur ball. It turned out to be a perfectly preserved 30,000-year-old squirrel.
Damn.
In the gold mine?
Yeah. In the Yukon.
I'm guessing it was naturally mummified.
In the Yukon.
Unless there's a 30,000-year-old Egyptian priest running around in the Yukon.
It says X-ray shows the fur ball is a curled up Ice Age squirrel in great condition.
He doesn't skip leg day.
Big acorn, right?
Likely died during hibernation.
Can I help you, Bucky?
Oh, they thawed it out and stretched it out.
Yeah.
Oh, come here, Bubba. Come on.
Thus my comment about the acorn. Will one of you make up your mind who's in charge of the screen?
I'm not doing anything.
Don't look at me. I'm still flying on Zeppelins.
I don't have ops, so nobody can blame me.
Same with Mr. Bachman. I do have ops, but my hands are nowhere near the controls.
All right, here we go. Here is a 30,000-year-old squirrel.
Damn.
Squirrel.
Doesn't look a day over 10,000.
Squirrel.
And it looks like the one from Ice Age.
I was going to say, did he die chasing after a nut?
No, they say he died during hibernation. Fell asleep, never woke up.
Yeah.
Way to go, squirrel.
That's the way I want to go. Unlike the other passengers in the vehicle kicking and screaming.
That is the number 2 way for a squirrel to die.
I want to go sweaty and thrusting. Whether it's fencing or with my wife, I'll take either one. But my wife fences. No, her practice sword is in the bedroom.
What the hell happened? Oh.
I love it when Joe's doing something and he yells, "What the hell happened?" And we're all like, "You tell us."
Really?
Everything had shrunk on my screen. I'm like, what in the hell? Oh, that's where I downloaded that picture. The download bar at the bottom was still going.
Oh.
Woof. Woof, woof. Woof.
The dog's looking around. I hear something, but
they're woofing at you, Bucky.
It's not right.
Well, surprised he's not looking back at me because...
Bucky. Bucky boy.
I was
Lucky
trying
boy.
to do this so she'd see the movement
Hey.
and like.
Hey, Bucky. Bucky. I
He's
said,
not the sharpest
Bucky.
tool in the shed.
Oh,
That Alexa just likes going off at random times, doesn't it?
it does. I mean, I can just be sitting here, earphones in, and all of a sudden, boom. Okay, what the hell? Oh,
You missed Eddie that much that you're just going to sit there. All right. I should have brought one of the beds in here for you.
all right, all that's done, so I'm going to shut that off. Okay. And I'm going to turn that off because all that flashing lights is about to give me seizures.
Yeah, Bucky's not the sharpest tool in the shed, but he is lovable. And he thinks he's a fierce guard dog.
Oh, yeah.
And
Could you imagine? Well, somebody got busted for it. They were breeding fighting dogs. They were crossing pit bulls with chihuahuas.
Which is an affront to nature.
a pit bull chihuahua mix is the reason why Crow is afraid of pit bulls. One of their friends from the old neighborhood had one, and they didn't tie it up. And of course, you have screaming 6-year-olds running around. That hunter instinct, and right in the inner thigh. Crow is very lucky that they weren't born a biological male. Otherwise, it might not have been thigh that was caught.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yes, it was that high up.
And I mean, they're about half the size of a regular pit bull with the attitude of a chihuahua.
And those mother didn't get the dog its rabies shots. And no matter how much we pressed to say, make these people get the freaking dog rabies shots because it's biting kids, they're like, well, no, it had its rabies shots in California 6 years ago.
Guess what? It's not 6 years ago, nor is it California.
Exactly.
Well, most
Yeah.
rabies shots now are good for 5.
The last time we got them, it was good for 3. That was 2 years ago. So June of next year is when they go in for their next rabies shot.
Oh.
I'll be back in a moment. I have to go beat a dog.
Oh, is that what they call that now?
Joe, get out of my head. Oh. But yes, I was pleasantly surprised. It's with my siblings. It's any 2 of us together, we're okay. The 3 of us get together, there's going to be blood drawn. But we all 3 managed to get along all day long.
I understand. Oh, was that yours barking?
That was Bella.
My Bella sounds so fierce. She is a 2.5-pound chihuahua. Let's rephrase. She's about a 14-year-old, 2.5-pound chihuahua.
I just thought of the perfect sign to make sure that people won't knock on your door or step in your yard. He's allowed to be in there. They're chasing the cat. Bucky, chill the fuck out. Heck out. I said heck. Anyways, sign, beware. This house is guarded by a Chihuahua on Mountain Dew.
That's pretty good, actually. Oh, dear.
Or if you really want to mess with someone, Chihuahua on cocaine.
No, the
Cocaine.
cops are showing up.
That's scary.
The cops
Are
are
looking
showing
for
up.
the white man. You take our lands, we give you a monkey for your back.
Chihuahua on crack.
Bucky, chill.
Cocaine Bear is supposed to hit one of the streaming services free real soon. I can't wait to see it. Dan, it's based on a real story from your neck of the woods.
Doesn't surprise me at all.
Your original.
Yeah, I kind of figured. Although there are bears around here. One of the next door neighbors had a koi pond at one time. Got up one morning and all the fish were gone and there were bear tracks all around the pond. Wouldn't have been quite as scary, except the pond was right next to the house.
Guy I used to work at a koi pond. He had those $150 koi.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Got up one Saturday morning, made his cup of coffee, went to sit on the deck, drink his coffee, and there was a damn heron standing in the middle of his koi pond. They were all gone.
I have a friend in England that was allowed to buy an air gun for that exact reason, except for the price of the ornamental fish. And any kind of firearms over there, even air guns, are strictly regulated. So he had to get a special permit for a BB gun. Well, pellet rifle. But and he probably had to make sure that it wasn't one of those endangered species. It was something that there are plenty of.
Well, you know what I'm talking about, the blue heron. You've seen them around.
Yeah.
2 stories about that. Down at the boat dock below the house at the Rivermont Ballpark, John.
Yeah.
There's a heron that sits on the boat dock down there. When you
They're
go fishing, when you pull that first fish in, no matter what size you throw it to the heron, he'll leave you alone the rest of the day. If you don't throw it to it, it'll come over there and take it from you. Another one is we were camping and the starlings, starlings are pain in the ass birds. This heron was being harassed by a starling. The heron grabbed it and walked out in the water and started dunking its head under the water. And the bird's freaking out and it's like, oh, damn. And he dunked it till it died, and then he ate it.
In front of the other starlings as a message to the others.
Yeah. Yeah, when the other one quit squawking and screaming, he threw it up in the air, ate it, and then looked at the rest of them and started walking that way, and they scattered.
Oh, Rich, are you
He
going to
went
make it
back
out
to the other
Region
herrings and he
Con
said,
this weekend?
that tasted horrible, but the rest
Sorry,
of
what'd
those
you say,
Charlies
Joe?
won't bother me.
Are you going to make it out to Region Con this weekend?
Next weekend?
What, next week? Oh, yeah, next weekend.
I might try to show up on Friday because I do have that Friday off. I do not know. Well, I know I probably won't make it out on my birthday.
Gotcha.
And John and Dan, next Thursday and Saturday, I will not be in town. I won't be around a computer.
That's why Thursdays, probably and next Saturday shows are already set up.
So you can, so you guys are ready to go.
Well, seeing as how I've only got 6 hours to work in the next 2 weeks, shouldn't be any problem.
Well, I don't see why I thought you had a backlog of testing. What happened?
Mike, I don't have the faintest idea. I do not have the faintest idea.
Oh, the light's back on.
The monitor went dead,
Oh, okay.
and then it just came right back on. I mean, I looked up to see if the computer had blipped. Nope. Everything was still coming through on the iPad. It's just no screen.
Oh.
Well, I would be so sorry to have to trade in this.
Cathode array.
No, it's a LED. It's a flat screen. It's been in the living room for 10 years. I'd hate to have to go back to a normal size monitor where I can have a higher screen definition than what this one gives me. But that shouldn't be a problem. Oh, that reminds me. Sometime this week, I've got to put up a shelf in the bedroom for another flat screen TV that we have been given. Lindsay wants to hook up one of the spare Rokus to it so she can watch TV in the bedroom.
Oh, okay. Oh, Joe, did you see that other video I posted entitled "You Son of a Bitch"?
I don't believe so. But let me double check. Oh shit! I still need to order that.
I'll be right back.
All right.
I was in the Stupid O'Clock group.
Yeah, Stupid O'Clock. It says 9 hours ago.
Oh, hey, look, top one. No, that one did not pop up in my feed today.
Okay. John, you saw it, didn't you?
Yes.
Hey, Chris made it home.
Mother.
Trust me, it got me.
I should have known that was coming.
Joe going, trust me.
Hey, I says right up at the top, you son of a bitch.
Well, when he first started saying this, it's a real important clutch of eggs, I automatically assumed there was going to be a snake involved.
Yeah.
And with your caption on it, I'm thinking, okay, important clutch of eggs, a snake got loose. They did not realize said snake got loose. And now they have a bunch of eaten eggs.
Yeah, that. Yeah, Chris, I heard you had a great dinner tonight. Chris had IHOP.
Where all the one-legged waitresses work.
If you eat enough Taco Bell, that could be IHOP too.
Oh,
Actually, our waitress was very cute.
actually, my wife has told me no more 15 bean soup and cheese crystals.
Knowing you, you'll try and get around it by saying there's an and in there. It means I can't have them together, but I can have them separately.
Yeah, I can have them separately. I can't have them together anymore.
Just make 14 bean soup. Oh, or go 16.
It was, let's just say, it was a long night for her. I slept like a baby.
Most criminals do.
Oh, and Joe, you definitely have to watch the Behold Best Video on the internet. It's not a jump scare, I promise.
Oh, yeah, like I'm going to believe your ass.
Hold your ankles, Chris. Means hold your ankles. No, Joe will bust out laughing when he watches this one.
I got to get back to the group page again. Damn it, I keep getting sidetracked. I got to place the order for this first before I forget.
I don't think so, Chris. I think 15 is the legal limit to add into a soup.
Add lentils. Technically, they're a bean.
Mm-hmm.
It's got lentils in it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it comes in a pack like pinto beans. It says 15 bean soup, and it's got little flavor packets packed in with the. Oh, the dogs were fine. They don't sleep in the bed anymore. It's amazing how such little dogs can take up so much room in a bed.
Oh, God. So, before we ended up getting the Min Pins, we had an Italian Greyhound. After the Italian Greyhound passed, we had to give it a couple years before we can get dogs again, but Misty was looking for something, and we looked into these. But anyways, back to the Italian Greyhound. The Italian Greyhound would actually sleep in bed with us. So for those that aren't familiar with Greyhound, the size of a Chihuahua. Misty and I had this much of the bed each, of a queen-size bed, and the middle of the bed was taken up by this frickin' dog.
Oh, yeah. How such little dogs can take up so much bed, I do not know.
And then when Crow and the dog were both in bed together, Misty got the couch and I got the floor.
Hey, Kiri.
Kiri.
All right, I got to figure out why the dumbasses are barking. I'll be back.
Oh,
So I found that video, Joe. I've seen variations of that same thing with the music playing, and I giggle every time. But the cow jailbreak was good.
that was. Dan, did you see that one? The cow jailbreak?
Probably
I
not.
love the look on the other cows. We're like, where the hell did he go?
He ran down to the bottom of the pen, then ran up and jumped over a wall. And the cow next to the wall's like, holy shit, runs away like, what the hell? And then the other one comes up to the wall and just mows like, take me with you.
Oh. There was something the other day. Oh, one of the boat videos. Couple were waiting on the lock to fill with water so that they could move their boat through. And a sheep jumped a fence into one of the places where water drains alongside the canal. And they were basically trying to get the sheep out of this ditch full of water without either falling in or having to go jump in.
Yeah.
And somebody else just walked up with a stick and like a walking cane and tried to get it closer to the bank. And somebody else came up. They had a rope. They finally put a rope around the darn thing and pulled it up. It did not want to come out of the ditch, and they had a difficult time getting the rope undone out from around its horns.
Yeah.
But when they finally did, that thing took off like a scalded dog across the field. Not going to be near that ditch again.
Well, I've seen them to where, they have to go down in and pull the sheep out, get it up on dry ground. It gets happy, runs in a couple circles, and jumps right back in the ditch.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there was another one a few years back. A couple of guys got up to one of the locks that they would have to drain before they put their boat in it, to raise it back up to go to the next level. There was a deer in the lock about to drown. And one of them just laid down by the on the side there and grabbed it by an antler and pulled it up, standing up real quick. And you're watching paint dry.
Yeah. How long did it take you to hear it?
As soon as I noticed it, I knew what it was.
Is that a mini Rich?
That is 6-year-old Richie.
So cute and innocent. What went wrong?
We don't know.
Oh, and Joe, thank you for buying that another album.
On that song twice.
Well, the other Joe, he bought a whole album.
That was newborn Richie.
Yep, we're going to start playing that one during my streams.
Well, if I remember what's on that one correctly, that is actual live musicians, and I'm playing bass.
Nice.
Now there may be a couple of pieces on there where I'm playing a synthesizer instead of the bass. I just don't remember what I put on that one because and it's all garage band music, and it's not really high quality of recording.
And 30 minutes. I just got notification 30 minutes until your show starts.
Okay. It probably won't notify me until 5 minutes after we get started, if then.
And Chris Walker, that picture you sent, that's perfect. Oh, I just had the flashing lights start. Okay, I'm going to do the rest of the show with my eyes closed. Oh. Do you ever get those, Dan?
Don't know what you mean.
My field of vision is shrinking, and I'm getting these lights in my eyes. All sorts of different colors and like some good acid from the 70s.
Sounds more like your blood pressure medication needs to be adjusted.
Nah. Uh-oh. What do we got to do, Rich?
One of the things that my sisters found while cleaning out, a little bit of cleaning out of my dad's bedroom is an old set of poker die.
Oh.
8-sided dice that have cards on them instead of normal numbers.
Oh.
And of course, since it's dice, of course they're like, this goes to you. All right? I'm not going to turn down shiny math rocks.
Have y'all seen that meme? I've posted it. It comes up in my memories every now and then. It's this couple. It says, we have to organize our dice drawer a little better. And the husband goes, why? What's wrong? He says, one of our love dice is missing. He goes, oh, okay. Then it shows the kid rolling the dice. It says, okay, that's weird. I have to fondle the ogre. The other guy looks, rolls. Well, it did 6 damage. What's the matter, Rich?
I knew where that was going.
You've seen that one?
Yeah.
Haven't we done that during some of Talker's campaigns without the love dice?
Wouldn't surprise me a bit. Oh.
People were doing it on purpose.
What's that?
I believe some of the people were doing it on purpose.
Well, there's really no way to win D&D.
Oh, yes, there is.
So your ultimate
to
goal,
make your DM cry.
Yes.
That's how you win D&D.
At least with Nick, is to get him to do the sigh, the heavy sigh. Take off the glasses.
Pinch the bridge of the nose. You guys really want to make me do this, aren't you? Yes, Nick. We are.
Do y'all live close enough together, or do y'all play online?
We used to all live close enough together.
when Nick still lived up here,
Okay.
yeah, it's we were all in the LaPorte, Porter, and Lake County region, so we were all really close together. And now Nick's down in Benton County.
Benton County.
Well, with StreamYard, you could do a full campaign.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And with the Joe, have you played with the new layout setups?
Not yet.
I was goofing with it a bit in just a test studio.
Those are some that I've got laid out.
Oh, okay.
All sorts of custom stuff that you can build, and yeah.
Around.
Yeah, we used to all meet up. So we generally
Denny's.
sit on Fridays because we'd all meet up, do the fencing.
Well, whichever fencing day it was, because sometimes it was Thursdays when I first started fencing,
Yeah.
and then we moved to Fridays.
Yeah, by the time I joined on, it was Fridays.
Yeah.
We'd finish up, and then we'd all head to Denny's for dinner, and end up being there until midnight, 2 in the morning.
6 a.m.
Yeah. Playing D&D in the back of a Denny's.
I miss Denny's. We don't have a Denny's around us anymore.
And they all knew us there, and they knew to just put us in the very back corner.
Although there were a couple of managers that didn't like us.
Waitresses loved us, tipped them well.
Oh yeah, because we were hellacious tippers, and his thing is nobody was being seated back there anyway, so it's not like we were taking up a table that gets turned around real quick.
Yeah,
that's why they seated us back there.
Night.
Yeah, that's why they seated us back there.
Because we normally didn't get there until 7 o'clock at the very earliest.
In the darker months, 7 o'clock. In the brighter months, sometimes we didn't get there till 9, 10.
Yeah.
Depended when sundown was, because it depended on when the park closed that we were practicing at. And then when it moved to Nick's new place, well, at his new place at the time, we just stayed there. Cooked hot dogs over the fire, drink root beer.
And now he's about an hour drive for me.
About 2 hours for me.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't envy Chris having to drive back from Athens after dark. Glad you made it home safe, my friend. Oh,
that's right. There's an Athens in Georgia. My brain's sitting there going, how the hell did he drive back from Greece?
Well, Athens, Georgia, Athens, Tennessee. I think there's probably one in just about every state. I know for a fact there's a Greenville in just about every state because I used it as a plot point in one of my stories where I had the adventurers going from Greenville to Greenville to Greenville. That was fun.
Somebody ordered a dog from Wish.
Oh, Lord.
It's posted on Stupid O'Clock.
I'll have to look at that tomorrow.
There is an Athens, Alabama. There is an Athens, Georgia.
Tennessee.
There's an Athens, Tennessee.
Athens, Illinois.
Oh, Chris said he went to a small anime convention in Rossville. Was impressed that did as well as HallowCon. Huh. Very good. What?
I popped over to Stupid O'Clock to look.
Yeah.
When are you going to learn not to do that?
It was cute. That guy's got a lot of videos of him and that dog. Of course, that's no dog.
I have to give that man some credit.
He raised it since it was a cub.
Okay, then I don't have to give him that much credit.
But he lives outside, or she lives outside. She comes in, but at night the dog goes back outside, stays outside all night. I think he calls it a forest puppy. And it being a female and he having a Stafford Terrier male, they might end up with some good looking puppies. I'm seeing Dan think.
I'm just trying to remember high school biology. I don't think that works that way.
Carrie, he has raised that thing from a little cub. Or puppy, as some people call it.
Hmm.
Oh, God.
What?
Bob loved the outdoors. Wound up with quite a collection.
I've seen that one.
That's
Saw
Chris's
that one
fault.
today.
Yeah, it was Chris's fault.
What? Don't everybody talk at once now.
Oh, I'm typing up something for the humor group that you'll probably be proud of, Joe.
Okay. Were y'all in the green room last night when I asked if anybody knew where Engagement, Ohio is?
Yeah, I cringed at that one.
Carrie, do you know where Engagement, Ohio is? Wait for him to answer.
This could take a minute.
Yeah.
What is it? Right in between Dayton and Matrimony?
No, it's between Dayton and Marion. What's the matter, Dan?
predictable. Oh, thank goodness the fridge is close.
Hey, well, that's better than the poodle that enjoys your bad jokes.
I'm waiting.
I'm not.
You don't know what you call a poodle that enjoys your bad jokes? A snickerdoodle.
Oh yeah, I heard that one the other night.
Last night.
You guys encourage him. Okay.
Although I guess technically for you guys, it would be night before last by now.
Yeah. Shoot, it's almost 1 o'clock here. And I like that. I came up with that one all on my own. I didn't steal it from anybody.
At least he admits it.
All by himself alone. With puns like these, are you surprised that he's by himself alone?
Okay.
I do like that one where the girl's doing the. I just realized I'm telling dad jokes, but I'm a woman. I can't be a dad. I guess I'm just a faux pas.
Like that.
She's got some good videos. I like the ones where she is working with Chris Barnett, and it's the demon nanny or the nanny from hell or something like that, where starts off with her trying to sell her soul for a dozen eggs because she was just too lazy to go to the store. And then Satan won't let the demon collect for just a dozen eggs. So he ends up having to do all this weird nanny stuff.
Joe, I remember when Whoopi Goldberg told that story.
That is one I just heard tonight.
You just heard it?
Yep.
Look up the Whoopi Goldberg, Billy Connolly HBO special. It was Billy Connolly's first introduction to the United States. I was on the floor laughing so hard I could not breathe.
I'm just wondering if I actually posted, is Facebook gonna throw me in jail for a little bit?
Well, Facebook, hell, it's a crapshoot.
Yeah.
No, I got 24 hours for talking about farting with my dog under the cover.
Hi.
Hey, what's wrong?
I'm just tired. I'm tired as hell.
Mm.
But I had to stay up until 10 too because I had to log on and say hi.
Okay.
All right. So, gentleman is driving along out on a country road and accidentally runs over a cat. And he ends up going to the nearest house and knocking on the door because he felt so bad. He's like, "Ma'am, I think I ran over your cat." And she's like, "What did it look like?" The guy's like, "No, before you hit it."
You were waiting for me to log on to say a cat joke, weren't you?
No, I just read the joke that Joe posted in private chats. Reminded me of my favorite cat joke.
Which is now on the humor group, which means I may end up in a 3-day stint in Facebook lockup, or the humor group may end up with a strike on it.
Well, you're not talking about any glucose grannies or anything like that. So dextrose daddies,
Well, I
maltose mamas.
I might get in trouble for posting that cat in Carl's page.
Why?
Rich had to go look, didn't you?
Nope, I didn't. I'm just sitting there. The first thing that pops in my mind is you're not allowed to post on Facebook. Oh, hilarious as all hell. So my eldest sister blocked me on Facebook because I made a post shortly after Dad passed away that I'm really afraid to have to go through the videos in Mom and Dad's room because there's some that they produce themselves.
Oh boy.
And my sister's like, you're disgracing their memory. I'm like, they're healthy adults. They did something. And then it dawned on me later. I'm like, wait, there was more than Mom and Dad in the room for that. Because the camera angle changed and there was zooming.
They make cameras with remote controls.
Not back then. But anyway, so she got mad at me and she blocked me on Facebook and stuff like that. So we're sitting there and she starts going through some stuff in Mom and Dad's room. And she screams out that she had just found my mother's battery-operated boyfriend. My grandniece and my two nephews that were there, the look of horror on their face. And then one of my nieces showed up just as that was happening, and she was like, I don't want to know about that. And then they wander in because that had been bypassed, and there was a blow-up doll named Fatty Patty. Or at least the box for it in there. So they were scarred yet again.
So you got a little bit of payback from the video thing, huh?
And this was apparently my other sister bought that for my dad as a joke because she was going to the mall and asked Dad if he wanted anything, and he said something about a blowjob and something else, so she bought him a blow-up doll. Because it's the closest thing that she'd be able to purchase there in that capacity. But the funny thing is that Fatty Patty blow-up doll was sitting right next to the family Bibles.
That's an odd juxtaposition.
So I'm just looking and I'm like, whatever. Whatever floats Dad's boat.
All I hope is somebody clears my Google history.
Oh.
Especially since that Massachusetts Slurpee thing.
I need to ride a sniffer.
What's the matter, Don?
Nothing. I was watching a car drive by.
Oh,
I need to write a sniffer so that as soon as my obituary hits online somewhere, the sniffer picks it up and executes something just to create the most outrageous searches so that they're saved in my browser. And then what will really freak people out is, wait, these were done after he died. A ghost in the machine.
No, what you do is whatever social media site happens to be the flavor of the decade.
IndieCD.org.
You set up a sniffer to where when your obituary pops up, there's one final blog post that says, "Hey, they do have Wi-Fi down here."
Carrie's asking, is that a green room thing? Just look it up.
And then do yourself a favor and go to urbandictionary.com and look up Spizzerinctum. Oh, I think I killed Rich. Son of a bitch.
And Mom wore that title with a badge of honor.
We learned something in the green room that night. What Spizzerinctum is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that many people with the name of Richard went out and created Urban Dictionary entries for the name Richard.
Do you know what Spizzerinctum really does mean, Joe Dog?
I don't.
It is an actual word. It is an actual word. It means like to grow a backbone, to stand up for yourself.
Oh.
So it's just a funny word, though. I came across it, and I was like, "Oh, this is funny."
And of course, I had to do the search on Urban Dictionary because a word like that has to be in there somewhere.
Oh.
If it wasn't, it was getting at it that night.
Well, guys, we are out of time. We got to say good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Be sure to jump over to Dan's show if you don't already know, and we will catch y'all. I guess I will see y'all about 2 weeks from now. Talk to you later. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
I have slipped the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand, and touched the face of God.
Did not get away with it. Fuck, 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 fuck.